Morning guys, Kremp again today. Hope you're doing better and enjoying your day so far. After OpTic lost to the Ravens last weekend, iLLeY tweeted out Yo, potentially implying he wants to get back into the OpTic team alongside Shotzzy at some point in the near future. Priestahh, based on some conversations over the last day or so, maybe does not seem so keen on this idea. Some trash talk, maybe some banter going down between Priestahh and iLLeY on occasion here over last night, and also Priestahh talking trash on Beans, among others, over the last couple of days. Is this a sign that Priestahh and OpTic getting back to form? Very much interested in your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoy, subscribe if you're new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. First of all, a couple of interesting things, just on the Rostermania side really here for Tyler Fellow, and whether there is a chance of Fellow getting back into the league. I think there was a possibility, because Fellow was on the team with Neptune in challenges, he was on the team of course with Lunars in challenges, it was Lunars, Neptune, Fellow and Craze. That was their team of 4. And look, there's an argument to say, well, if Falcons came along and just signed that team of 4, they'd be in a much better spot. And I do think that for the Falcons, there are some questions as well on, okay, if they did just decide to blow up the Saudi project and sign the 4 best players they can right now, who would they get? Ideally, you probably would have got that full team in some respects anyway, but now you probably get who, can you figure it out from there. But yeah, I think Fellow's in an interesting spot. The same is often true for some of these veteran players who go down to challenges and provide a great leadership role and veteran experience to help some of those guys on their journey as players, and Fellow's done this multiple times, but then, you know, they don't necessarily get the credit in terms of getting picked up to the league, right? It ends up being the players that they helped grow and develop that get picked up, and, you know, that is just how it is, to be honest. But equally, could a team, let's say like Gentlemates, when signing Lunars, said, you know what, let's sign Fellow as well and bring Fellow and Lunars as a package deal? The same idea could have worked potentially for a team like, you know, Surge, but probably not necessary. They could just bring Neptune in, knowing that of course he is, you know, a league-ready player because he's been there before over the last few years. But Fellow's been good at this game. Obviously, he's had success with the teammates that he's had as well. So, you know, just wanted to mention it as a possibility, because I think a team like Rocker, I was almost not convinced exactly, but I thought that they would consider Fellow pretty heavily for PaulEhx if he continued playing the way that he did, because that leadership style for the other 3 guys may be somewhat valid. Speaking of some of those players, these are the ProX going down, just to look at some of the names that have been getting involved here. So, Drazah playing, as always. Real, Kismet and Hook getting involved. Dashy, Shotzzy, Prolute and Johnny was one series. And then it was, well, Shotzzy again with Drazah, Johnny and Real. Kismet still there, Hook still there, and then iLLeY and iLLeY came in the second series. And we've got a bit to say on iLLeY here in a second. There was a bit of drama as well, because someone tweeted at Scrappy and saying, wow, Scrappy really pulled up to the TikTok stream, like my favourite player in the league was in my chat, basically. It turns out this actually wasn't Scrappy. Now, I'm not using TikTok, like, you know, if you are, fair enough. And if you are, just a quick note on this. So there's this account, Scrap CDL, and professional CDL player for the LA Thieves. Gamer, New Jersey, at LA Thieves, whatever, right? So 32,000 followers on this. Seemingly a pretty big account, pretty notable account. There's some funny clips, I'm sure, that have been going around here on his account for some time. And turns out this account ain't even real. Well, it's real, it exists, but it's not actually Scrappy's account. So I think Scrap did tweet out and say, my actual account is maybe Scrappy CDL, but then he deleted that tweet. So I'm not exactly sure what his real account is, whether he even has one. But yeah, this account isn't actually Scrap. So someone's been impersonating Scrap and farming impressions. I respect it, but Scrap's like, hey, let's maybe get that one reported so we get it off the, you know, off the TikTok platform, whatever. Don't know how successful it'll be in that venture, but yeah, I thought that was pretty strange and interesting to at least think about. But let's talk about some of the trash talk that's been going down over the last couple of days. Of course, we saw it in the actual matchups as well, especially when Beans clutched that round against the Boston Breach that we'll see here in just a second. I think, yeah, it was towards the end of this game really when Beans gets the first one, and then guns Cammy in the second one. Kind of tough for Cammy this one, especially because Cammy actually was playing better Search and Destroy. That was like such a big weakness of his during the run that Boston had at, you know, the major and even before the major as well. And then, you know, when it mattered, Cammy actually was playing pretty well in Search and then lost that 1v2 to Beans. And then, of course, the 1v1 at the end, Beans was pretty much roasting Boston, it seems, as an organisation for some of the decisions that they've made at times involving Beans over the last couple of years. Speaking of Beans, though, there was some pretty funny clips going around, such as this one, where Pred takes him hostage in a twos wager and basically says, you know, roast him for not being able to make a Saturday. Now, of course, worthy to note, he's not on Boston anymore. And Boston, yes, yes, they did bomb out top 12 at the major in Madrid. They went out on the Friday. So, you know, just to quickly break down the days. On the first day, it is the winners bracket games. The losers of those games play the losers games on the Friday. So by the end of Friday, 8 teams are still in the tournament and 4 teams are gone. And by the end of the Saturday, there are 4 more teams that get eliminated. And then the Sunday, of course, it goes from 4 down to just 1 champion. So Toronto, who came top 6 at the major, wasn't a great run, but it was a top 6 at a major. They did make the Saturday, right? Like Beans did play on the Saturday at that tournament, and eventually they bowed out to the Ravens after losing to FaZe earlier on. That was the game I was on the desk for, and I was predicting Toronto to do a number on FaZe, but of course that massively backfired. But I'll own it, you know, fair enough. I was wrong. FaZe, again, on this tryout game, proved to be very strong during the course of that tournament. And I don't know, I still feel like Toronto should be better than they are. But yeah, and they're up and down, really. But they've not quite shown me yet what I want to see from them. So anyway, Beans is getting roasted. Of course, the funny thing is that people are going to roast Pred for here. And look, at the end of the day, this one especially is just banter. They're playing a game. Like, it's all in good fun. But people are still going to say, because OpTic are on the back foot right now, and the fans are looking at any opportunity, and understandably, I do get it, right? Like, I'm not saying the fans shouldn't be frustrated that their team is losing and trying to find reasons and explanations as to why and what they might need to do about it. But of course, people are going to roast Pred in the replies here. Yeah, okay, here, the first one here from Big Boy Band is one example. Red Power says, can he make a Sunday? Of course, first of all, Pred wasn't even at this tournament because he'd been dropped. So that was the first thing. And then obviously people have pointed out the graphics of 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. It's like, you know, who are you to talk type thing. Look, at the end of the day, it's not going to make a massive difference to OpTic play this upcoming weekends, but this is what it's like when you play for OpTic, that when, and Kremp made this very clear on stream the other day as well, like he was talking about the difficulties that Kenny is dealing with right now when you've got all that pressure on your shoulders, because everything that goes slightly awry is amplified when you're on the biggest team and, you know, people are calling for you to be dropped and all these other things. It's not an ideal scenario.
Freak the fuck out. Ah! Shut up! Shut up! Oh shit!
You fucking bitch! Can you make a Saturday, you fucking pussy?
Fuck me good. Fucking freak. One in the back.
He went vent, no hezzy. He's gonna try beta because he thinks.
No, can you get that? No.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. When it matters, we win. Let's go.
Why does this game do that?
It's your terrible.
Go, baby! The fuck up, you bitch! You only win online. You only win rings online. You win a ring online. You're fucking awful. You win a ring online. You're awful. Last time I played your lane, I sent you fucking package. Which one? Which one? What? What'd you say? I want to see Yoda King in here 50 gifted. That fucking fake ass online ring. Give me that 50 gifted.
Bro, I'm gonna take that ring and slap you with it.
Give me that 50. I'll slap you with mine. I'm gonna be getting it in 2 weeks. I'm gonna slap you across the head with it.
You didn't even have it.
I'm gonna be getting it in 2 weeks. I'm gonna slap you across the head with it, you fucking bitch. The last time you played on stage, I fist bumped you and you off. You're fucking dancing on main stage. Yoda King with a 50 bump. Can we get a Woda King in the chat? This fucking bitch. Can we get a Woda? Can we get a dub in the chat for Yoda King, baby? Run it back then, you bitch. Get a Woda King.
100 gifted, 100 gifted.
Alright, bet, let's go. Get a dub in the chat for Yoda King. Can we get a Woda King in the chat? Get some dubs in the chat, these fucking fake ass online rings. Get a dub in the chat.
Shit scene. Fucking little shit scene.
Last time you played on stage, I fucking shit on him, dropped 45 on him. I set a kill record against him. Get a dub in the chat, baby.
I literally pissed on this guy's fucking.
When? You've never beat me at Lambside once.
This guy's pissed.
Oh my god.
Like, yeah.
Let's go. Fucking go, baby.
You guys are both using Dex?
I'm putting you on the good shit, bro.
Yeah, they're both using Dex as well. Holy shit. These guys are so
Me and Paul beat him without Dex.
I know. These guys are so bad.
Yeah, you guys are so good. Xio duo. Fucking shit stands.
AG.
Xio, whatever the fuck their name is. Some shitty ass duo. Guys have only one online.
AG 100 gifted?
Nah, we'll do 50. Calm down, bro.
No.
You're searching for dope, bro. Nah, yeah, best of 500.
I'll run that one. Alright.
Yeah, wait, Paul. Paul, why are we going on ESPN after we beat OpTic?
I don't even like talk shows like that, but
Nah.
Justin didn't want to go on alone, so he asked me to go.
You know what's even fun? No, the only reason it's funny is because Nero did it last season when they.
Did he?
Yeah, when they beat
Yeah, I
us.
didn't know.
Nero's like, yeah, I think Pred lit a fire under Johnny because he called him dog shit. So,
What did he say?
he said I lit a fire in Johnny.
He said that. I actually started crying.
That's alright. Honestly, if there's time to talk shit to us, it's definitely now.
I feel like I gotta answer that with the most respect possible.
Yeah, you did.
Oh no, you're chilling. Don't even worry about it.
We can't even win a map, so.
Yeah, I promise you, anyone talking shit, I mean, they literally deserve it.
Yeah,
So
but they got to keep the same energy though. That's the you know.
I hear you.
This clip with iLLeY, though, very entertaining indeed, right? So they're having a go at each other really back and forth here. Like, this isn't necessarily a new thing, but still, the context of this is interesting because of the tweet that JoeDeceives did, iLLeY, the other day, saying, yo, when OpTic lost, right, wanting to be potentially back onto that OpTic team, that was the implication. And Pred's like, oh, yeah, sure, iLLeY, Shotzzy, who come back together, but you guys are just onliners, you wouldn't be able to do it on LAN and all this stuff. But with iLLeY potentially wanting to get back into OpTic, right, because realistically, when Pred was out of the league, he was considering his options. It was not a guarantee. This is my understanding, and we mentioned it on the show the other day, that it was not a guaranteed thing that Pred would necessarily be coming back into OpTic like 100% for sure. I think there was a question mark about it. It was not like, oh yeah, this is definitely going to happen. Otherwise, they wouldn't have fully dropped him in the first place. My understanding is Pred was at least trying to and was entertaining conversations with other teams to see which other teams may be interested. And in the same way, iLLeY will be in the same boat right now. It's not clear where he's going to go, and he will be trying to speak to organizations to see if they're interested, trying to speak to players to see if they're interested in getting him back into the team. And that's pretty much where iLLeY might be. An OpTic, in the same way that ideally Pred would go back to OpTic, it made the most sense. That's eventually what happens. iLLeY probably feels the same way about his chances, but no, I wouldn't say he's massively beefing with Pred here, and it's like, oh, these guys are going to no longer be able to see eye to eye. But, you know, when things like this happen, it does make it a little bit less likely that the two may decide to team together for the rest of the season, if and when maybe the team decides to make a change for Kenny. This was the other thing, right, that Shotzzy was roasting PaulEhx for. I thought it was pretty funny. I feel kind of bad in a way, because PaulEhx was a great guest on our show. But, yeah, we asked, I think, Estriel whether he'd come on to have a discussion after, of course, they 3-0'd OpTic, and as Paul said there to Shotzzy, that Justice, that Estriel was like, I don't really want to come in on my own, so PaulEhx came on as well. And then, obviously, they're roasting him, right, for doing the World Media Tour, having won the series against OpTic, right? And Pred's like, oh, make sure you keep the same energy when we do it back to you. So fair enough, right? I like the confidence out of OpTic. I feel kind of bad for Paul because he's getting cooked here for, you know, just coming on. And I mean, look, he didn't say anything outrageous, right? He just said that he felt like Kenny was out of position when he found him on the map. But yeah, as always, intrigued to your thoughts on the comment section below. Or some sort of drama going down behind the scenes of the COD world. I think maybe the main takeaway here for many is that OpTic are still streaming, they're playing 8s, they're having fun, whatever, like in the evenings, after presumably they've spent the whole day scrimming and going hard and working on all of their issues. Yeah, I know that OpTic fans, some of them are going to see those clips and say, oh, it's good to see they're taking practice seriously and all this. Look, at the end of the day, OpTic can approach things however they want to approach things, however they feel is best for their team. The results are going to do the talking. So OpTic can act and behave and talk about other players and do whatever they want. What matters is whether they turn up to the server on Friday, they beat Falcons, and then they go on to play Toronto, maybe after that FaZe, maybe after that, who knows. But yeah, they may not be in after that if things are performing as they were last weekend. So very much interested in your thoughts on all of this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.